answer lies in the heart of battle.
King of Iron Fist Tournament.
Mugen TV versus Corner.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
Hey everyone, it's Mugalore here, and I'm back again with another video. And today I want to talk about fighting games, the FGC, and how developers are handling their online and how online gaming has been impacted due to the pandemic, and how developers are going to pretty much, to me, in my opinion, is going to improve online play when it comes to fighting games going forward from here on out after 2020. So let's dive right into it. I know it's been a while since I covered fighting games here on this YouTube channel. I know a lot of you guys come to my channel because I started out with Mugen, and then I transitioned into, talk about a lot of fighting games and everything, and you guys haven't heard much from me when it comes to fighting games, and that's because I need to take a little break when it comes to fighting games. They can get quite frustrating, they can get quite daunting at times when it comes to me and my experience with fighting games. But now my itch check came back, and I decided, hey, let's dive right back into it again. So here we are. Now, you guys know that 2020 has been a crazy year when it comes to this pandemic, and it's pretty much impacted everyone's lives. And if you're going to talk about the fighting game community, if you talk about the gaming industry in general, the gaming industry has been impacted really hard as far as, announcements. We had a ton of delays. And if you're going to talk about the fighting game community and just the fighting game area of gaming, a lot of tournaments, local tournaments, big circuits has pretty much been on hold or canceled or had to move everything to online. And I believe when it came to this pandemic, it has exposed a lot of things when it comes to these fighting games and these developers, and that is this online capabilities. And that's where the issue come in. And this was pretty much exposed, especially when there was an announcement that, EVO 2020 was going to pretty much be an online tournament instead for players to sign up on. And a lot of games have pretty much been, that's always been the vocal, or I guess you could say the mainline games at EVO, has pretty much had to take the back seat to either be a side tournament or had to only be reduced to exhibitions and everything due to their online. And games that had great online has been put up to the front. Games similar like Skullgirls were a perfect example. And Capcom with Street Fighter 5 has been pretty much a crap show. Especially with their Capcom Cup. A lot of players had pretty much backed away, quit, forfeited, and everything due to the online and how bad the online is. Also, the Smash Brothers community has definitely been impacted the most, is because Super Smash Brothers has always been grassroots like every other fighting game community, but with Smash Brothers didn't have the support from the developers like how Capcom support their communities, NetherRealm Studios support their communities. So more so, the Smash community themselves had to pretty much build Smash Bros to what it was as far as the competitiveness is concerned. And ever since that happened, they had to rely on Nintendo's online ever since this pandemic came in. And the Nintendo Online, we all know that Nintendo's online service sucks, and Super Smash Bros. Online is really not the best at all. And a lot of players have experienced a lot of issues, a lot of trouble with it, and a lot of gamers have pretty much Smash players have pretty much ditched Smash for a little bit to try other things, is because of how bad their online service is. Now, the point that I'm trying to make right now is, because of this pandemic had exposed a lot of these developers with their online service, what are they going to do moving forward into 2021? And I believe that this pandemic made developers realize how crucial and how important online gameplay is, especially if fighting games is the thing that makes them their money. And if players are not going to stick around and play it or even invest in the DLC, then what's the point? So I believe that a lot of developers, especially Japanese developers, are now, to me, in my opinion, is going to look for ways to improve their online to give you that, I guess you could say, local experience but online. And I believe that's what's going to happen. Nintendo already tried to take the initiative by somewhat improving their netcode for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in the 8.1 update, and so far a lot of players has been saying that it's not too bad. It still needs improvement, but I guess they're going in the right direction. Then you have Capcom looking into how they're going to improve their online as well, and I believe it was Arc System saying that they may be using rollback netcode for Guilty Gear Strive. So there's a lot of developers that's going in trying to figure out how they can improve their online. And I also believe that it was Dragon Ball Fighters, if they ever make a sequel, that they're going to try to improve the online in some way. And I think that's a good idea, and I think that's a good approach, because now that we're here stuck in our homes, the online needs to be better, and I believe it's forcing developers to try to figure out ways in order to accommodate these issues that these players are having in order to keep their install base satisfied and intact, if they want these players to go in and invest in their upcoming sequels to their fighting games. So besides that, since we're on the topic to fighting games, I also want to mention that Sega has decided to also revive Virtua Fighter as a new mystery project that they have here, and Polygon states that right here. It seems like Sega has some initiative to do some Virtua Fighter cross esports events. We're not even sure if this is going to be a reboot or a Virtua Fighter 6. We don't know. They're keeping it hush. They're saying wait for the upcoming months. But if you guys haven't checked it out, we're going to go to the video so you guys can see what's going on here. So let us just check this out. Let's go. We're going to full screen this, and we're going to check it out. It's really short. It's really short. Turn this up a bit more. Yep. It's crazy. I'm gonna tell you a bit about my experience with Virtua Fighter after this. I always thought it was about time to bring it back. Right there. Virtua Fighter Cross Esports. Yeah, so it says Sega announced a new Virtua Fighter project during a Tokyo Game Show live stream on Friday, but the nature of that project isn't yet clear. Sega's calling it Virtua Fighter Cross Esports. What is clear is that Sega did not explicitly announce a new Virtua Fighter game. On the official website, Sega says Virtua Fighter will be restarted as an esports title to commemorate the 60th anniversary of Sega's establishment. The teaser video shows mostly footage of virtual fighting game tournaments and end with a shot of Akira Yuki, the face of the fighting game franchise. What does seem evident is that Sega is focusing on the competitive angle for its new Virtua Fighter project. So, I love Puyo Esports. Oh, I didn't know they had that for the esports for that too. It's a tournament focused on puzzle games. We reached out to Sega for more details about Virtua Fighter Cross Esports announcement, and we'll update you with the story. So so if you guys don't know, they're planning on taking it Virtua Fighter much more, I guess you could say seriously this time around. Virtua Fighter 5 has been around for what, 10-11 years now, if I can recall. Can't remember. But Virtua Fighter was pretty much a fighting game that I've played since the Sega 32X that I had back in the day when I was a kid. And Virtua Fighter is pretty much the father of 3D fighting games. If it wasn't for Virtua Fighter, there pretty much wouldn't be Tekken, Dead or Alive, Soul Calibur, any 3D fighting game you could think of. It wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Virtua Fighter. It pretty much inspired a lot of 3D fighting games, and also Virtua Fighter was also inspired the developers Eidos, the creators of Tomb Raider. They said that Virtua Fighter was also responsible for them creating Tomb Raider, which I find quite interesting as well. But from the talks of it, they're saying that they're pretty much restarting Virtua Fighter through esports. And to me, in my opinion, restart is that key word. I mean, why would they restart Virtua Fighter just by using the current game, their old game that's already out? I think by restarting is pretty much like a reboot. You reboot, start over again, you rebrand it. Especially there's a lot of players who don't even know what Virtua Fighter is. A lot of people don't know who Virtua Fighter is, especially if they're new to the fighting game community and new to the fighting game scene in general. So rebooting it, doing it through esports to get everybody's eyes and attentions on it. I think that'd be quite interesting. And plus, if you look at the end of the trailer, Akira looks like a new Akira model as well. It looks like a new design. So I don't think they would sit there and just tease us with this and not be something new. You know, I don't know. I just don't think they would do that. Just to go back and just play an older, version of Virtua Fighter, like Virtua Fighter 5 and stuff like that. So, but we just gonna have to wait and see. But the fact is that Virtua Fighter is coming back. It shows that fighting games are very strong. They're very strong. A lot of people love playing these fighting games. And the fighting game community, or just fighting games in general, just brings all walks of life together to just compete and, you know, come together like, you know, like comrades. We all enjoy the same thing, which is to compete and just play fighting games together and just play video games together in general. So I like to wait and see what they're going to do with this, but it goes to show that fighting game, esports, and the online capabilities have to definitely improve, especially in the online area. Especially, we don't know when this pandemic is going to end, when things are going to go back to normal. So I just think it's best that developers get themselves together, get their acts together on how they're going to handle the online. No one wants to play fighting games with horrible netcode. It's just frustrating. It's not fun, and it just have a whole lot of shenanigans added to it and everything. So looking forward to see what they're going to do, especially going forward with Tekken, and of course Street Fighter 5. With Street Fighter 5, we have a whole new season that's going to carry out all the way until near, I guess you could say, the end of 2021. And also, because of the pandemic, Super Smash Brothers and their Fighter Pass 2 is going to carry all the way over into, I guess you could say, the fall of next year. So we have a lot to pretty much just look forward to and just see where they go from there. But I definitely want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the current state of the fighting game community and just fighting games in general? And the seriousness is very serious of this, because even Japanese developers also came together and created the Fighting Game Roundtable, which is also like a convention and a panel for developers who create fighting games to pretty much share their plans, for their upcoming fighting games or their current fighting games to keep the community hype. But I definitely want to hear your thoughts. I think since you guys come to my channel for fighting games and everything, I think it's important for me to know what you guys are thinking and where you think fighting games are going to go forward in 2021 and beyond. So if you like this channel, please hit that subscribe button, and also don't forget to hit that notification bell if you want to be notified for more news related to fighting games. This is Mugen Lord signing off. See you Game Fiends later. Peace out. It looks like you reached the end of the video. Well, while you're at it, check out some of my other discussion videos by clicking on the annotations below, and don't forget to follow me on other social media platforms to stay up to date with future content. Signing off.